It is 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, and we are live. It's going to be a fun one today, actually, a little bit more of a how-to in using some of our new products, which I'm really excited about. It's been fun to be able to play with them. So I'll give it just a minute so that if you are wanting to join live, then I will get to see you hop on. So if you are joining live, give me a little shout out in the comments. Let me know that you're there. And then we can flip this camera around to get started. I actually really love Tuesdays, and I love being able to go live because it's a break from the normal day-to-day stuff that I'm doing so that I get to hang out with all of you and stamp, which is way fun. And so today I get to share a little bit about a new product, a newer product, and I hadn't played with it yet, so it was really fun to be able to play with the Brayer and the hybrid embossing folders. So oh, good. Hi, Krista. I can see people joining. That's good. Oh, and thank you for sharing videos. That's always nice. If you know people that could benefit from seeing what we're showing, that would be great. Hi, Lori. We're both enjoying the break. That's good. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around. Hi, Pamela. I'm going to get this party started. Here we go. Okay. So it was actually really fun for me to play with I guess it's not like a new product, but new enough. Like, so we have these products in the mini catalog. So that's what I'm referencing is the mini catalog, and we have the Brayer, but some of these hybrid embossing folders, I'm going to focus here on Thoughtful Moments hybrid embossing folder and the Brayer. So a couple tips and tricks, and if you've used these products, share your tips and tricks in the comments as well, and everyone will be able to benefit from that. So this is the Brayer. It's different from other Brayers that we have had at Stampin' Up! Before. It's a little bit more firm in terms of the roller and the way the metal works and things like that. So there are some little feet on the edge, so you're going to want to make sure that when you're rolling, that you turn it over and you're rolling this way with the feet up. And then when you set it down, those little feet will hold the Brayer in place. So some tips and tricks there. And I like to hold the Brayer a little closer to the roller so that it's more firm for me. At least that's been my experience. So that's kind of the tip on the Brayer. Now the embossing folder is hybrid. It comes with, of course, the dies. Okay, so you have all these different sentiments. Get them so you can see them. Maybe I should have put that under a darker piece of paper. But you can see that there's like, hello, love you, you make me happy, get well, celebrate just because, with sympathy, thank you, thinking of you, a happy day. So you have a few different ones. The trick here is that we're going to Brayer on the Stampin' Up! Side. So that's what I try to remember when I'm doing this. And then you just want to make sure that your dies line up. And they don't like lock in place, but they don't really move. My experience has been that they're pretty on there when you line them up. So that's what we're going to start with today. I'm going to use basic gray for this. They are so fun. I love the embossing folders. And the Brayer with it is fun too. So I'm just going to ink this up pretty well. Now because the roller is different than what you're used to, when you Brayer it on paper, it looks a little bit different than what we've used before. So you're just going to want to Brayer this on. I need to resituate my ink pad so I can do this. Okay. So I flipped mine around because I'm right-handed and I want to roll this on. I want to hold the edge of it this way and go clear to the end. So you can see it's not going to be perfect. I think that's really the thing I want you to walk away with, is that this is not going to be perfect. It's not like a stamped image really, but that's the fun part, I think. So we're just going to roll this on, and you're going to get a little bit inky, so know that. So I'll set this here. And then what I'm going to do is I turned it around, so now I'll flip this around. Lay the dies right on top, just like this. And then I can take my cardstock One second. And I want to cover the whole thing. So we'll just lay this in here like this. Oh, and I moved it. Dang it, I hope I didn't ruin it. Okay, so then we'll put it in. You want to put fold side in first. Okay. And let me move this so I can get my machine in here. You're using cutting plates 1 and 4. So that's with your hybrid. And then we'll roll it through. My desk is going to shake. So bear with me. Okay. Set this aside. And then I'm just going to kind of dump it out. Did I do it the right way? Why am I second guessing myself? Okay, so I've got, you can see how this is coming out. So then I would just rinse this off under the sink is kind of what I've done. And so I'll set this aside so you can see it. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Someone comment. So you get some of the ink comes on there, but this is the scrap that I'm going to throw away. And this I'll rinse off as well because it got a little inky from the brayering. And then I have all of these different words that I can play with. Alexis, has anyone shared any tips that would be good? Okay, if you have tips, let me know. So I love how this turns out. It is not perfect. That is the whole point. And you can do some different things with this. So you can use a blend. So sometimes we don't always use our dark blend. So this is dark smoky slate, and I'm just going to add, let's do the Levy one, like color in the lines, and it will bleed a little bit, so I don't have to color everything right up to the edge.
Someone mentioned rolling slower. Does that make a difference?
Oh, rolling slower. That may make a difference. I don't know. I just went back and forth across both and made sure that I could see the ink on the letters. So that's a great tip. I'll have to try it and see if going slower lays the ink down a little more evenly. But it is really fun. I love this technique also because it's raised. You have the outline and you can color your words in. So you can use your blends. I've got another one that I've colored here. Here's kind of an Oh Happy Day. You can use your markers as well. Here's a darker one that's really cute. Okay, so really fun. Let me just put that together for you on a card because I have all of these in like a little envelope. So I just keep them on hand for when I need them. So we've got, and you have different ways you can do this because, let me show you, if you just want to use the embossing folder, then you've got kind of a really elegant white on white. I don't know if you can see that very well. Okay, so then you can cut that out without any ink, right? Just white on white. And then, like I showed you before, you can ink up, here's kind of that, kind of inking up. You can see the ink on the surrounding area, those. So you can ink up I think this is the reverse side. It just gets a little bit inky. Can you tell where you ink up the embossed part? So like you have the white version. Here we go. Let me show you. White version, okay. You can ink up like Brayer over the top or ink up over the top, and then you can get the letters that are inked, but it's not going to be perfect because the ink isn't perfect. Okay, so that's another way to do it. We've got the outline, we've got the embossing, and then inking and cutting afterwards, after it's been embossed. Does that make sense? I'm not explaining this very well. Okay, so that's kind of what this is if you emboss first and then ink it up and cut it out, then that's why this is all inky. Then you can also ink up your embossing folder, which is what I did over here, and get the outline and color things in afterwards. which is fun. So let me show you how I've layered that on a card. I've just taken some cardstock and some designer series paper. Add a little accent of designer series paper. This is almost like this is like a 4-step card. It's just card base, designer series paper. We've got a little accent here. We're going to use a couple of 2-inch circles and layer that here. And I'm just doing right on the center. I'll layer them up, and then I can put the Love You right there on top of the adhesive. So you can layer them up. It's kind of an added accent. Here's some other ones for you. Colored in or just the brayered and cut out. Super cute cards, really fun. Doesn't take much. That vellum is the little accent there on the 4-step card. But, okay, so we've got our card here and a bunch of different ways to get our greetings. I love that I can do them all at once and then have a big envelope full to pull out and use anytime I like. Okay, I'll scoot those down here to the side. Now, there are some other things you can do with, I just dropped all my words on the floor. Okay, with brayering. So I'm just going to run this out. I'm not overly worried about this. Some of you might freak out when I do this. Because I'm just running the ink out, and then I'm going to use some other colors. So I've got some Berry Burst, and then I've got some Blackberry Bliss that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start with the lighter color on this one. And just do some direct to paper. So you still can do this, even though it's different than the brayers that we're used to. You can still have some fun direct to paper. Okay. Okay, I'll add the darker. Ooh, I'm sliding all over. I might need to re-ink this one. I just want to add a little darker color. Okay, you get the idea. So you can do some direct to paper. I don't want it to be perfect, actually, and then I can trim around and get the angle that I want. But then I can add those same sentiments and create a card front with those same thoughtful moments words. So super cute. Lots of different ways to use the brayer as well. But I'm loving it. It's been so fun. You definitely get inky. You have to decide you're okay with it, right? Like, that's the sign of a good crafter, is just getting a little bit inky. Any questions coming in? No questions coming in? You guys already get this. It's kind of fun. But I love that you've got these on hand. And I'll keep a hold of all of them in this little envelope that I have and use them on all of the different cards. So here's some different cards. Let me set this out of the way so you can see the cards. You can see these ones were colored in. But they make for some really cute cards. And then you have all of these words to choose from. So you can pull out gift all the different versions and color them in and have them ready to go for your cards when you need them. So loved it. And love all the different options for using these. Direct to paper with the brayer, or not. See the difference? Direct to paper after you've embossed it, and then embossing or inking up the folder and cutting it out. So you can have the outline or the solid. Is this showing? It probably isn't showing. Here we go. So different options and coloring tools. Pretty cool, right? Love, love, love. Some suggestions for sentiments too. I can see, but I love the cards. Okay. Pretty fun. I promise you're going to have some fun with these products, and they're new, something different to try. Can you use 2 different colors on the embossing folders so the words are 2 different colors? You probably could, like ombre. You can have some fun with it. I would recommend starting with the lighter color first and then going to the darker color if you're going to change color. So keep that in mind when you're using your brayer. And you can color, when you're using your blends, you can blend them in as well. So I think there are lots of different options for you using the brayer and the hybrid embossing folder. But I really, 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 really love it. Like, it's really fun. You almost have to try it. So have some creative adventures, right? Pull out all your products, start with something simple, and just practice and see what you like. See if you like using a dauber, or you like using the brayer, or you want to ink up the embossing folder, or you want to emboss it first. Like, if you're really picky about getting your stuff inky, then maybe don't put ink on your embossing folder. That's totally fine too. I will go run these underwater because I did ink up my my folder and the dye that goes in them. So I love it though. I love that I get all those sentiments all at once. And then the brayer is really fun to use too. I think there are lots of different applications there, but use it on your folders. It works really well because it doesn't get down in the cracks as much. It just kind of covers those where the words are. So, oh, okay. White gel pen to touch up. That's cool. I love that. So you can even do some highlights then with the white gel pen as well. Yeah, love these tips. If you have other tips and tricks for using a brayer or the hybrid embossing folders with the sentiments, like, lay them in the comments, my friends, and we can all benefit from it. So enjoy, everyone. Until next time, happy Tuesday.